In this video, I'm going to show you an easy way to start something round by making just 2 chains and crocheting into it. And all you're going to need is the yarn, your hook, and if you want some things to help make it a little easier for you to see stitches, I would recommend 2 stitch markers in different colors. So first we're going to make a slip knot. Lay out your yarn so the cutoff piece of the yarn is on the right. Pick that up and loop it once over itself. So now your yarn is crossing over itself once, and you want to pick up the loop on the right side and fold the yarn over itself again. So that now you've got the rest of the yarn connected to the yarn ball in the middle of this loop. Then pick up that yarn with one hand and then pull on the cutoff piece of yarn with the other hand until a knot is formed. And you're going to have a loop here that is adjustable in size, and this is what's called the slip knot. So now we're going to put the loop on the hook. And if you're left-handed, you want the knot to be on the right side of the hook. Then you're going to pull on the yarn connected to the yarn ball until the knot gets pretty close to your hook. You want it as close to your hook so that the loop that's formed is the same size as the tip of the hook. So don't put it exactly next to the shaft of the hook. It's skinnier than the tip of the hook. You want to make it big enough so that your hook can easily make it through. Okay, now we're going to get in crocheting position. So wrap the yarn around your yarn hand. Remember, real quick, that means facing the palm, your yarn hand palm to you, holding the hook and the yarn in front of you, and wrapping the yarn connected to the yarn ball once around your pinky, bringing it up behind your pinky, and draping it over your index finger. Then you can hold on to the knot you just made with your thumb and your middle finger. Now we're going to do 2 chain stitches. So to make a chain stitch, we have our hook in front of the working yarn, and we're going to do a yarn over. Then pull that yarn through the loop that's on your hook, and that is a chain stitch. So if you were to rotate your piece, you probably have a really tiny V, a really tiny horizontal V that the loop on your hook traces back into. I want you to make it easier for you to see where to put your hook later on, to pause and put your stitch marker in between the 2 sides of that V. So the V looks like this, and I just put the stitch marker over here in between the 2 halves of the V. All right, then we're going to do 1 more chain stitch. So yarn over again and pull that through the loop on your hook. Now we're going to start doing the single crochet stitch. Your pattern tells you how many single crochet stitches are supposed to go in this magic loop. It could be 4, 5, 6, 8. Just follow whatever your pattern says. I'm going to make 6 single crochet stitches in this. And I'm going to put those single crochet stitches in the hole that is marked by this green stitch marker. I'm going to stick my hook in exactly the same hole as the green stitch marker, from the front to the back of the piece. So it should look like I've got 2 strands of yarn on my hook. I'm going to do a single crochet stitch like normal, so I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to pull that yarn through just the hole my hook went into, so just that first loop on the hook. So it should look like I've got 2 loops on my hook. Then I'm going to yarn over again and pull that through both loops on the hook. Ta-da! I made 1 single crochet stitch. If I were to turn to look at the rim and I look at the yarn on my hook and where it traces back into, there should be 1 V. I'm going to actually pause again and put this other colored stitch marker under the entirety of that V. So this time I put the stitch marker under the whole V. Okay, so let's continue making more single crochet stitches in the hole that's marked by the green stitch marker. So remember to pull that green stitch marker off to the side, by the way, so it doesn't get in the way as you crochet. Stick your hook in the hole so it looks like you've got 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over. Bring the yarn back through the hole your hook just went into, so you've got 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over again and pull through both loops on the hook. That was your 2nd single crochet stitch. And you're just going to keep repeating this as many times as the pattern says. So like I mentioned to you, I'm going to make 6 of them total. And by the way, if you feel like this hole is getting bigger than you'd like, You can try taking out the green stitch marker, as long as you can tell where you're supposed to stick your hook into, to see if it helps prevent stretching that hole out. All right, I need to do one more single crochet stitch to finish all 6. And ta-da! I have a circle of stitches. It might not look like a super perfect circle for you, but that's okay, because once you start the next round, it's really going to force this into a circular shape. And so now you see the reason why I asked you to put the orange stitch marker in your first stitch is because it's here to help you see where you start the next round. So let's say you need to start the next round with a single crochet stitch. You know that it is under the V that is marked by the stitch marker. So it's going to be over here. Ta-da!